theme for this Jubilee year, as you all know, is hope does not disappoint, coming from St. Paul's letter to the Romans. When announcing this Jubilee year, our late Holy Father, Pope Francis, said, "Hope is the virtue that gives inward direction and purpose to the life of believers." Indeed, I hope and pray, as we spent this day here, that you drew closer to and drew strength from Our Lady. Pope Francis encouraged us to be close to her in this way. He said, "Amidst the tempest of this life, the Mother of God comes to our aid, sustains us, and encourages us to persevere in hope and trust." Indeed, what a blessing our Mother Mary is to us. Our Mother helps to calm the tempest of life around us too. In our gospel today, we heard about a tempest being calmed. That must have been some storm, huh? Because the disciples were accustomed to the usual wind and high waves. After all, they were fishermen, huh? They knew how to manage a boat and how to navigate waves and wind. But this must have been no ordinary storm. This was the storm that they thought might do them in. It really was more than they could handle, more than they could survive on their own. And they knew it. Their concern was quite real. So they cry out, "Lord, do you not care that we are perishing?" It's an interesting statement, an accusation really. It wasn't a question. There's a difference. You see, if the disciples were asking a question, "Lord, do you not care that we're about to die?" then Jesus would have responded, "Yes, of course I do." No, they are accusing the Lord of not caring about them in the midst of their distress. They interpret the contrary forces of wind and waves as a sign that God had abandoned them, had forgotten about them, that God just didn't care. It is at that moment that Jesus rises and he brings great calm where there had been a great storm. That statement, "Lord, do you not care?" It's one of the most dangerous and destructive thoughts that can cross our minds. And it usually happens in the midst of a storm. It's a terrible thing to think that someone doesn't care what happens to us. Human relationships die when we sense that others don't care about us. How much more so when it is the other who actually put us in the very situation of distress that could destroy us. Remember, we were told in the gospel today that it was Jesus himself who instructed the disciples, "Let's go to the other side of the lake." And now they are about to die because of it. Do you see the danger in the disciples' accusation, in their words to Jesus? If God doesn't care, then why are we wasting our time fighting for our lives while trying to do what Jesus asked us to do? Jesus knows their individual resolve was being eroded because they felt abandoned and uncared for. And so Jesus rises and he manifests himself to them so that he could see that he had not abandoned them. Rather, he had been with them all along, deep in the hull of the boat. They were not alone. God did care. So brothers and sisters in Christ, what does this have to do with us? Well, first of all, as Jesus' disciples today, we too are sent by Jesus. We are asked to take the risk of faith and to become part of the mission of the church. Like the disciples, we too can sometimes feel overwhelmed by situations we face in life. We just have to think of the tragedies that have happened in these past weeks here in our country. Terrible things. And the things going on throughout our world that make us so sad when we hear about them and see them on the news. We too can be tempted to ask, where is the Lord? Does he care? Maybe it's the storms of the secular world that would try to destroy the good efforts of the church by attacking our members. Sometimes we find ourselves like the disciples. From these world situations, these situations in our countries, or perhaps distress we face in our own personal lives, with family members or friends, some of our own making, some health-related, whatever. We can find ourselves like the disciples, wondering if God cares. That thought in our mind will surely dampen our zeal. It will destroy our zeal. It happens among married couples when spouses lose faith in each other. And it happens to us priests and religious too. It can make one want to give up their vocation. So do you see how destructive those words of the disciple were? The words, the accusations they made to the Lord. And do you understand why Jesus wouldn't remain silent in the face of them? We're told in the gospel that they found Jesus in the stern of the ship, and they went to him. It's no accident that we refer to the church as a ship. We call this main portion of the church the nave. This is our ship, and Jesus reposes deep in the stern here as well, where the rudder is, where the boat is steered from. That's where they found Jesus. He is always here too, in the stern of our ship. He's always here in the tabernacle, awaiting us, reminding us that he is with us, wanting to direct us. He cares for us. He personally knows our distress, any distress we have in our life. And he does not ask us to go anywhere or do anything where he himself has not gone before. The disciples could find the Lord in the boat today in the gospel because they knew where he reposed. Thanks be to God, my brothers and sisters. We do too. He reposes in every tabernacle, in every church throughout our world. Gratefully, we know where to find him. Knowing where Jesus is, that gives us hope, It can give us hope no matter what distress we might find ourselves in at some point in our lives. My brothers and sisters in Christ, as Jesus' disciples today, we also have a special responsibility to bring that caring presence of Christ to others who are in distress. We each received that mission by our baptism. We are to bring hope to others in need of it. And that's what this Jubilee Year reminds us. We are to help Jesus to calm any storm in others' lives too. This is the reminder of this great Jubilee Year. This pilgrimage today brings us closer to Mary and to her Son, because she always brings us to her Son. And many, many, many people, even in our own diocese of Metuchen, await Jesus and need hope. So I'm so grateful for you making this pilgrimage, for yourselves, but also for sharing Jesus with others in need of him in our world today. Yes, God is with us. Repose in the nave of our boat. He is in each of our churches as well. We meet him and we see him in the risen life in the Eucharist, where he brings us hope always. My brothers and sisters, recognize it, trust it, and witness to it. Let us share Jesus with others we meet as we return home from this blessed pilgrimage day. I thank you for coming and joining in this day, and certainly ask God to bless each one of you. Know of my love, my prayers, and my gratitude for you. And of course, please pray for me, before you leave this basilica too, God bless you.